Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, underneath this canopy is a 1956 Calcraft that we started a rebuild on a long time ago. And it's still under here. But last night we had some hurricane strength winds in the state of Kansas. And while it wasn't that bad here, we had also previously had quite a bit of snow that did a number on this canopy. Well, the wind finished it off. So today, I'm not going to be doing any work on the camper, but I am going to get this canopy down, and I'm going to go buy a new tarp to replace this one, which is completely coming apart. I don't like working under a tarp, but this canopy has not shown that it is really capable of standing up long term to the weather in Kansas. And honestly, I don't know that you really need it to work on one of these. So first order of business is going to be to get this canopy or the remains of it off of the camper without it becoming airborne. And then we'll get this tarp off of here, take some measurements, and go buy a replacement tarp. Yeah, okay. Is that a camera? What's that camera doing there? There's a tiny little person in there. Oh, well, that's... Wow. I don't even know what I'm doing. Something's loose there. Okay, that works. Now, some of this stuff is not too badly damaged, and I think I've got a plan for this. Oh, it's really in there. It's got to come apart somewhere. Oh, jeez. Thought I was going to hit myself in the face. Yeah, this one might be too bent. All right, I think that'll do. So there's a couple of things that's important to keep in mind when you're looking for a new tarp for a camper like this, at least if you're still in the build phase. And one is you see these kind of flat areas here that are between the ceiling joists. That poses a bit of a problem for water collection. Now, right here, not so much, because obviously water will just run off. But up on the top, you're going to have these areas that dip down just enough to collect water, and eventually that water will make it inside the tarp and onto your nice wooden ceiling. So you have to have something on the top to sort of tent that so that water can run off and down the sides. So I'm going to come up with a solution for that in the moment, probably. We'll just let inspiration strike. So the other thing I want to do this time is I want to take some of the leftover sections of my canopy and the little bungees that used to hold it all together, and I want to attach it to the end of my tarp so that when I'm ready to work on this, allow me to demonstrate, to just essentially lift it up and I can get under there and do what I need to do without having to take the whole thing off. And my thinking is that I would also maybe run a rope through the center of this so that I can then tie it off and I don't have to really worry about it coming off. I mean, that's the theory anyway. I've never done it this way, so this is something new just because I'm trying stuff out, because why not? Why wouldn't I do that? So let's get this old piece of garbage off of here. Yeah, still looks pretty good in there. Oh, geez. That's a little wobbly. Maybe I'm a little wobbly. But yeah, so I figured y'all would want to know what it's like in here after being covered up with a canopy for, I don't know, 2 years, however long it's been. And yeah, it's not that bad. There's some spider casings I can see from some brown recluses, which that's fun. But yeah, it's nice in here. Yeah, I don't see any problems. But there are going to be some big changes. I always forget that in the like last video that I made where I was working on this, I built a bed frame in here, which unfortunately is garbage, and it's going to come out, and I'm going to completely redo that. And this is, I'm going to redo these. I don't know, maybe even redo that. I don't think so. I think this is good how it is. I think that's going to stay, but these have to be different. Definitely the bed frame has to be different. So, okay. So instead of just sitting here and thinking about what I'm going to do, what I need to do is I need to take my great long flexible tape measure, and I need to measure the outside radius, and then I need to measure up and down and around, and go and try to find a tarp that will fit close to that. I would like it to go down and completely cover all sides, so there's no blown rain that will splash on the outside, which was a bit of a problem. It's a little nastiness on that side. Nothing destructive, but just doesn't look that great. But so yeah, I'd like it to come all the way down on the sides and on the back, and then I can put that the sections from my canopy. You could do this with conduit or something, but put those in there, run a rope all the way around so it's held down, yeah, I think that will make it easier to work on this. Okay, so I've got my 100-foot tape measure here, so I can just loop this over one end, curve it over to the back, and then get my measurement off it that way. I could probably also go to my SketchUp and measure it that way, but I don't know, sometimes you do things the analog way. It's certainly easier to do if you have someone to help. Okay, so I think 23 feet would be pretty good there. But one thing you've got to keep in mind is, of course, that if you put something up there that's going to, you know, tint it, that's going to take up a little bit of extra height, you know, add a little extra for that. And then we're going to measure side to side as well. Nope, didn't quite make it. About 20. So honestly, almost a square tarp would probably do it. So if we could get like a 23 by 20, it would probably be okay. Okay, so yesterday when I was done working, I went to Harbor Freight and I picked up a tarp. I don't normally recommend Harbor Freight for buying your tarps. If you get the blue ones that they sell there, they will last you about as long as it takes for the wind to pick up one time. So you want to get the heavier duty ones if you're going to buy them there, but be aware those may last you a season before you've got big tears and holes in them. If you want a tarp that's going to last a while, I would recommend going online and buying one from any number of places that sell them. I've heard Tarps Direct has pretty high quality tarps. At least one place that the name escapes me right now that sells vinyl that comes off of billboards and recycles those, and so you'll get a vinyl that has maybe some advertising on it, which could be kind of funny. But regardless, when you go online and buy them, you may pay the same as what you would pay at Harbor Freight, but you're likely to get a much higher quality tarp that'll last you a lot longer. And in some cases, you can order them to custom sizes, which is nice when you're trying to cover a camper semi-accurately. The one I bought from Harbor Freight is not exactly the right size for this. They had one that was about the size of the one that was already on it, which is maybe a little too small. And then they had one that was just gargantuanly sized that would be really cumbersome to work with on this. So for right now, I'm going to use the one that's about the same size as the one that I took off of there, and we're going to make it work. So when I go to fold up a tarp to put on a camper, what I do is I take it and I fold it in half, and then I can't fold my hands in half again, but I fold it in half back on itself, and then I roll it up from both ends. and then I toss it up there on the center of the camper, roll it off from both sides, and then unfold it and pull it down over the side. Now this is a time where you may prefer to have some help. The real problem is you'll do this and then the wind will come up and blow it off. You know, I think I was wrong with the direction. Sometimes it'd be nice if they labeled these things, but I think I'm gonna rotate the whole thing because it feels like I have a lot more length this direction. So snap and it's done. Okay, so I rotated that. But obviously if I rotate it, it doesn't cover very well this way, but I think it is better for me to cover the sides than the ends, and I've got a couple of small tarps I can come back and put up under here to cover the ends. So I think we're fine there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bungee these leftover sections of my canopy to this, so I've got a nice kind of rigid end support. I hear the wind picking up. Oh, there it goes. But anyway, so then I'll have nice rigid end supports on all sides that I can tie off on, I think. I've never done it this way, so. And see, I think the advantage of doing it this way, I can put some end caps on it so I can stick some legs up in there. Then when I go to work, I can lift this out here and stake it up, and I've got a little nice covered area I can work under. At least that's the hope anyway. So when it comes to tenting them on the top, what I've found works the best is to take a 2x4 and stick it up through your vent hole and put down like a heavy piece of carpet underneath the end of the 2x4 so it doesn't mess up your floor, because it's going to move around up there unless you screw it in or somehow make it permanent. Put down a piece of carpet, stick a 2x4 up through your vent hole in your roof, and then take a bucket and stick it over the end of that 2x4, and then that will create your tent pretty easily. And this is generally not so rough, it's going to mess up your tarp up there. I, however, don't have my vent hole cut, so I'm just going to set this up there and cross my fingers. Okay, I'll cross my fingers, and I will also put this trash can lid on it, because I did that maybe with the Aljo and it worked out pretty well. Ow. Ow. All right. Pizza cake. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to close up the ends on this so it doesn't get a bunch of water in it. You know, the thing to keep in mind about putting a tarp over a camper that doesn't currently have skin on it is that you are sort of racing against time, because eventually that tarp is going to get a hole in it and it will leak all over your nice wood camper. So it's time to get to work. Okay, well, there you have it. Do I think this is going to keep rain out and keep the camper dry? I mean, I would say 100% it is possible that it might do that. There is a decidedly non-0% chance that it will keep things dry. Do I honestly think this is the best solution? No, I don't. But I'm going to try it this way and see what I think. And perhaps I'm going to order a custom-sized tarp that will fit a little better and be a little less rigged. But I have these, you know, guy wires on it. I'm a little concerned about this flopping in the wind, but we'll see. It's an experiment. I will report back, so keep watching. It is my hope to do some actual work on a camper soon. So thanks for watching. That'll do it for this video. Please like and subscribe, and like I said, hopefully we'll be working on a camper soon, and hopefully this will work. We'll see. Anyway, have a great week. We'll see you in the next one.